Yeah. Hello y'all. It is Dreamwalker 445 and I'm gonna be making one of my favorite combos today. Steak, risotto, and asparagus. And I don't know how this video is gonna go, but I just wanted to show the process, have some fun with it. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is season the steak and let it set while I'm preparing all the other things for this. Got some HEB steak seasoning, so I'll probably just use this and some salt. But yeah, I'm gonna lay this out on a cutting board. I'm just gonna dump this seasoning on it and rub it up. Salt. And I may add a little bit more later, but for now, I'm just gonna let this set while I prepare the other ingredients. All right, the next thing I wanna do is grate all this cheese. The recipe calls for half a cup of Parmesan. I'm gonna recruit a little helper and we're gonna get this cheese shredded while I set up the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so while my helper is messing with the cheese, I'm gonna start cutting the onions. So we're gonna need onions for the risotto here. It's like our first step. The first step is usually to saute the onions, and I'm gonna make about a cup of onions and try to get this as finely diced as possible. And I'm no pro with any of this crap, especially the steak. The steak is probably gonna turn out pretty rancid, but we will get through it. And I'll show y'all what the onion looks like after I'm finished. All right, we got about a cup. That took a while. I'm gonna put this in a bowl and measure out the cheese. And the next step is just measuring out the other ingredients for the risotto, like the rice and all that. All right, at this point, I'm gonna add the chicken stock to the pan, which is what I'm gonna be using a ladle to put into the risotto. And this is unsalted. One of these is 4 cups, I believe. So I'm gonna put this and another half of one of these. That should be just about 6 cups. And I will get back to y'all. I almost forgot the most important step, the white wine. And I may have been stupid here, but we want, well, hopefully it can come out. Look at it. We want about a cup of white wine. And then, you know, a couple tablespoons for the cook. A couple shots, you know what I mean? It's a little overkill, but we'll make do. Y'all, it's go time. I put the oil in the pan already. I didn't really measure it because I'm not really like that. Whenever this starts to smoke just a bit, I'm going to put the onions in. I started the heat on this over here. Maybe you can see it smoking over here. I want that to boil and then come down to a simmer. My main plan is to cook this risotto. It'll probably take like 20 minutes. And soon after that, I will get on the steak on this cast iron pan. I don't know if you can see it in the frame, but yeah. I'm gonna also pop my butter in. That's usually a good indicator to see how hot it is. I like mixing up oil and butter. I don't know if I said this, but whenever you mix up oil and butter, it seems like they cancel out each other's weaknesses when they're cooking. I really like mixing them up. And all of this oil should get sucked up by the rice, so it'll work out really well. Once this butter is fully melted, I'm gonna add in the onions. So while the onions brown a bit, I'm gonna also add in a little bit of garlic. It's pretty important here. We have this cool little thing that crushes the garlic, so I'm not looking for too much. It's a little bit too hot at this point, so I'm gonna cool it down. But I am gonna add the onions so I stop the burning a little bit. Crazy maneuvers, y'all. This is how it be in the kitchen with me, okay? But yeah, it looks like I'm gonna go with about a 6 here. Get the rest of these onions out. And then pop as much garlic as I can manage out right here. And that should be a good amount. Just about a clove. Well, honestly, I'm not gonna stop at that. I'm gonna go with one more clove. Just pop that guy in there. Okay. So, what I'm looking for at this point is the onions to be translucent. So, a little bit golden brown and translucent. The moment I see this starting to change and be more transparent, I'm gonna directly add in the rice. And then there's a lot of waiting. One of the big important things about risotto is you never want it to stop moving. We don't even have the lesson yet, but there's a lot of things where it's good to let it stop moving, which is probably what I need to learn. Like when to just let things set. But risotto is not one of those things. You want to keep it constantly moving so it cooks as evenly as possible. So this looks good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and add the rice in. Now this is a good amount of rice, so 1.5 cups. I'm gonna mix this in with the onions. And I'm gonna wait. There's a distinct smell that usually pops up when I make these, where it's kind of like a toasted smell, where the rice mixes with the onions. That's usually what I look for, but the time of that is usually about like 5 minutes. So I'm just gonna be stirring this around for 5 minutes, and I will get back to y'all. All right, so we're nearing the golden brown phase, and I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, and it'll be time to add in the white wine. All right, so that smell I was talking about just popped up, and it was about 5 minutes, like I was saying. So I'm gonna add the wine here. And that sound is not a good sign. It means it's too hot. So I'm gonna lower this a bit and let it simmer with the wine. Probably about a 5, but yeah, this is when it starts. If you're not stirring it around, you're stupid. You gotta be stirring it around. But I don't know how much I might keep in this. I'm gonna wait till the wine reduces a lot, and from there I'm gonna start adding stock. And this is basically just waiting until the rice is the consistency I want it to be. And it'll take like 20 minutes. So I will get back to y'all. Alright, so the wine is almost fully evaporated. I'm about to start adding in stock. And I'm gonna add about 1 to 2 ladles at a time, which is probably like half a cup at a time. And like I said, I'm just repeating the process over and over and over, letting it reduce. And that's how it cooks. What's crazy is I don't know how to cook normal rice. I cook this arborio rice. I don't know if you do the same thing. I don't think you do. But I'm gonna add the first ladle of the stock. And this stock has been simmering over here. And I'm gonna keep stirring that in. So I probably added in a bit too much actually. But the good news is it should evaporate pretty quick. So I'm just gonna repeat this process, and I'll probably come back when we're close to the end of cooking this risotto. I just wanted to add this in for reference. So this is about the perfect time to add in some stock. Whenever you can see the rice moving really slowly, And you can compare it to like when I first added the stock where it was all liquid. So it's kind of moving like a sludge at this point, and that tells you that's the exact time to add the stock. And I will. I added in a bit less that time. Y'all, but add some salt into this. Kind of tastes like shit. Make sure to always measure. Oh yeah, it smells good, doesn't it? Oh yeah. You won't believe it. You won't believe it. I can't believe it. Oh no! I can't believe it. Guys, it's getting a little creamy. The risotto is becoming creamy. After all, this is what we're trying to attain. It will become so creamy. You know, thinking of creamy makes me want to put in some cream. Some heavy whipping cream. Maybe my little helper can get me some heavy whipping cream. Maybe we could put some heavy whipping cream in the risotto. Have y'all ever heard of something so ambitious? No, this is getting really good. Good looking. I want to see what it looks like at the beginning to the end, because this is crazy. And this is the time to add more. And I've been tasting it intermittently. It tasted like shit earlier, but I had some salt and it got better. My taste buds are telling me to add some more salt. So I'm gonna do that, but we're also gonna get a little wacky. So I'm gonna add a little bit more salt. That should cover everything. We're gonna go with some pepper, which is all part of the plan. Make sure to measure this, guys. This should be good. And from here, can y'all guess what I'm gonna do? Can y'all guess? I'm gonna put some horseradish. Now I'm gonna put some paprika. Some McCormick paprika. Oh shit, that was a little too much. Oh shit. Alright, the paprika is in the mix. We got a little reddish tinge. It's all according to plan. Hopefully the cheese drowns out that extra paprika taste. This is gonna get wild. Now's the time for a little more stock. And we are nearing the end of the risotto. We're not quite there. The rice isn't soft as I'd like it to be, or as soft, but we're getting there. That reddish tinge is scaring the hell out of me though. We'll see how it tastes. Okay, we're back. I'm getting refreshed at the moment. We're getting closer and closer. I started recording for a reason. Yeah, I was gonna add some butter. I'm feeling it I'm in a buttery mood, so I'm gonna add some more butter. About a tablespoon. But we are very, very close to the end. I'd like to get the rest of the stock in to maximize the flavor and all that. And I'll try to do that. But we're about done. Let me give it a taste. Yeah, that's A-okay. That's pretty damn good. Yeah, if y'all follow this, yeah, you're gonna make some crazy risotto. Too bad you can't have me making it though. Cause that's low-key like what makes this, you know? Not to be conceited. But you know how it is. Oh yeah, it's get in there. It's get in there. Let me put a little tablespoon of butter. Pop that in, wrapper included. There we go. It's nearing the perfect consistency in my opinion. So at this point, I am going to turn off the heat on the stock. And in a second, we'll just be pretty snappy. I'm going to turn the heat on the other big burner and leave this setting here so it can finish cooking, but only on low. And I'll start to get to work on the steak. I'm going to put the oven at, shit, I don't remember how hot. I think it was like 425. But yeah, I'm gonna preheat that to 430. What I'm planning to do is pan sear the steak, probably like 2 minutes each side, and then pop it in the oven. And I probably should have started earlier, but it is what it is. It's pretty much cooked. I just want that stock to have a little bit of time to evaporate, and this is pretty much optimal here. And once it reduces a bit, I'm going to add in the cheese, and I believe that's it. I'll do a little squeeze of lemon as well on top of it. And I'm going to let this set to the side on low heat, and then I'm just going to turn this shit up for the steak, like about an 8. So this is pretty close to being fully reduced. I'm going to put this cheese in. This is about 3/4 of a cup. Yeah, that looks freaking good. Alright. And I'm just going to mix this in, let it finish reducing, taste it, see if it needs any salt, pepper, whatever. But I think we're good to go. I wanted to buy some time for the oven to preheat since I started a little bit late. Okay. It has this nice slug-like consistency, which does not sound appetizing, but it's good. And that's about perfect. So I'm gonna ramp this up to the heat that the steak needs to cook at, about an 8. And I'm gonna take this off the heat. Replace it with this cast iron skillet, and this is what we're gonna be cooking the steak in. So I'm gonna do the same trick that I did earlier. I'm gonna add a little bit of oil. And in this, I'm gonna put some butter. I really like whenever you mix the two together. Yeah, once this oil starts smoking a bit, I'll add the butter. And this steak's time will have finally come. It's been setting out for about an hour now. So this thing is starting to smoke. I'm gonna put on this butter. It should start to change immediately, and hopefully we don't set off the fire alarms. That's a big concern here. So yeah, this is about the right heat, so I'm going to put the steak in. I'm going to leave it on this side for about 2 minutes, and then flip it around, leave it down 2 minutes, and pop it in the oven. Alright, I'm going to turn the steak around. Ooh, shit! That shit's already cooked. yeah, I'm gonna let this go. And while that's cooking, y'all can't see, I'm gonna cut the ends off of the asparagus. So now we're working with this length of asparagus. And yeah, my plan here is once it's finished cooking in the oven, I want to put this back on the cutting board. Yeah. I want to put this back on the cutting board, and I'll start cooking the asparagus in the steak pieces. And I don't know, I'll add some amount of salt, seasoning, whatever. Maybe a little bit of flour. So it's been on the side for about 2 minutes. One thing that I learned to do from a friend of mine was to turn it around and try to put it on its side for a good amount of time, like 15 seconds. Probably good. And the other side. And at this point, we should be pretty ready to put in the oven. So, ready? Bang, 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 bang! Oh shit! It's sizzling! It's popping! Okay. So... Oh shit! Hey, that's just pink! Hey, that's just pink! So that should take way too long, and I hope the footage is good. But we got our risotto, asparagus, and steak. Thank y'all for watching. There we go. It's all plated, ready to go. That was a very fun event, and it was very fun to make.